I'm Dan Phillips and I am the director of Something Something Lazarus.
I'm Simon, I compose the music.
And I'm John and I wrote the book and the lyrics.
So the three words I use to describe the show are twisted. I think it's got a nice warped sense of humour. The second one is funny. I think John has written a funny book, and I would hope hummable. I think I've seen a lot of musicals recently where they're beautifully written, but you can't walk away humming a tune. I think with our one, they're clever tunes, but at the same time you can hum them. So why not?
So 3 words to describe the show. I'm going to cheat a little with a hyphen and say tragicomic, because it does do the both. I think it is fresh and it is exciting, which not a lot of musicals I think are or are trying to be these days. So fresh and exciting and tragicomic.
I think entertaining it's definitely an entertaining show. I would hope we've written something that we want to be entertaining in all its ways. The flip side of that is maybe something that's a little bit challenging, that takes you on a journey that might make you feel a bit uncomfortable in places or at the end. So challenging and entertaining, and I'd like to go for funny as well. I didn't realise I'd written something that's funny, but then you never, I don't think you always do. So watching the actors perform it and the way that they're doing it is bringing out a lot of humour. So it has become funny.
Yeah.
I think in a way we can draw the audience in with the humour and recognisable characters and almost a recognisable world for a lot of them. What I'd like to do is then take them through a world which some of them will know, some of them will feel very different. But what's important is it is a universal story of love and of loss, and that kind of hits everyone. And it's not necessarily about wanting the audience to feel, to remember things they've lost, to remember tragedy, but it's to think about how we as a human race deal with love, deal with loss, and how important people are around us and how important music is to us. And not just music. Music is a metaphor for faith, essentially. It could be a religious faith, it could be a passion of another sort, such as musical theatre or poetry or literature, but it's about how that faith of yours can help you through even the darkest of times.
So putting on a show is incredibly expensive, and we're investing money ourselves, we're investing a lot of our time. It's expensive if you want to do it well, and it's expensive if you want to do it properly and fairly. We know that there's a lot of small productions, whether they're musicals or not, where the actors and the creators involved, so the director, aren't necessarily paid, or if they are paid, they're not paid fairly. And we didn't want to do this without paying fairly and making this as good as we could get it. So part of our, one of the reasons for having the budget that we do, even though it's quite small, is that we are paying everyone, except ourselves, we're paying everyone fairly, and we have to pay for 3 weeks rehearsal, then we're running a show for a month. It's no small thing to run a show, and it's no small thing to run a musical.
Yeah, and we obviously have a great team at the King's Head supporting us, which is fantastic. But putting it on at a venue like the King's Head, which is not, the back hall of someone's house or anywhere, it's a well-known and well-respected venue, pub theatre venue in London, that things have to be a certain standard. So part of the reason why we're asking for support through Kickstarter is to make sure that we get to that standard. And what we hope sets our Kickstarter apart is the rewards. There are some of the standard rewards, lots of thank yous, lots of tickets available, but we're trying to be a little bit different with the rewards. So we are designing some unique t-shirts that only people who go through the Kickstarter campaign will get, for example. We're giving away scripts, we're giving away versions of the song, versions of the soundtrack. There is an opportunity to have your name in the show, for example, which I think is quite a unique idea. There are 4 opportunities in the show to have a name put in there, so we thought that would be nice for someone to have themselves part of the story.
Bit of comedy, bit of breaking of the fourth wall as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that we are keen to develop is different ways of telling stories. And one of the ways we are telling stories is through transmedia campaigns. So this story, yes, is in the world of that you'll see on stage. It's very much, you'll enjoy the show itself, but you can dive deeper into that world of these characters by exploring online their stories through digital portals. And if you pledge into the Kickstarter, you get the key into that digital portal that allows you to see perhaps their website, or perhaps more videos and perhaps more songs that they've created that aren't in the show, but lend a little bit more background to their character, what they're about and what they're going through.